formerly known as the Republic of the Philippines. The Philippines is a Southeast Asian archipelago of approximately 7,000 islands in the Western Pacific Ocean. The country is located to the east of Vietnam, to the north of Malaysia, and to the south of Taiwan. It is close to several crucial Southeast Asian countries, notably Indonesia and Brunei. The country is a significant facet of regional geopolitics because of its strategic location at the crossroads of major international sea routes. The Pacific Ocean on its east has far-reaching consequences for the country's foreign policy and international relations. The Philippines generally enjoys cordial relations with its neighbors. Diplomatic and economic collaboration characterize bilateral ties. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, is a regional cooperation organization that fosters economic and political connections among its member countries, including the Philippines. While there have been a few disagreements and conflicts, particularly in the South China Sea, diplomatic efforts have been made to resolve them peacefully. Despite specific historical disputes, the Philippines has sought to improve its relations with these neighboring countries recently. Taiwan, its closest neighbor, has cultural and economic links and also significant people-to-people ties. Malaysia and Brunei, both ASEAN members, have maintained diplomatic relations with the Philippines and collaborated on numerous regional initiatives. To the south, Indonesia has a long history of good relations with the Philippines. The relationship between Taiwan and the Philippines is complex and multidimensional, particularly regarding US-China ties and Philippine foreign policy. Taiwan and the Philippines are caught up in the greater geopolitical fight between the United States and China, which has substantial ramifications for their respective foreign policy. Cultural and economic links between the Philippines and Taiwan predate their individual affiliations with the United States and China. The People's Republic of China considers Taiwan to be part of its territory, although the Philippines maintains both official diplomatic and unofficial connections with the PRC. The US has a substantial strategic interest in the Asia-Pacific area and has become more assertive in resisting China's dominance. It has consequences for Taiwan as well as the Philippines. The United States has long been a diplomatic and military supporter of Taiwan. Taiwan's connection with the United States has become more robust, with the United States providing armaments to Taiwan and backing its involvement in international organizations. This backing for Taiwan irritates China, which regards any external assistance for Taiwan as interference in its domestic affairs. Several significant goals shape the Philippines' foreign policy, including pursuit of national security, the promotion of economic development, and the protection of Filipino nationals abroad. The government pursues a non-aligned foreign policy, attempting to balance relations with big countries such as the United States and China, while also fostering regional cooperation through organizations such as ASEAN. The Philippines has a long history of close ties with the United States, thanks partly to its colonial past as an American territory from 1898 to 1946. This connection is still strong today with diplomatic, economic, and military links. The United States is an important ally in the region with defense treaties and common interests in counterterrorism and marine security. The United States has long been an ally and key provider of military support to the Philippines. This partnership is critical regarding regional security, particularly in light of the evolving security situation in the South China Sea. The two nations' trade relations involve the exchange of goods and services, with the United States being one of the Philippines' main trading partners. The Philippines is one of the United States' most important Southeast Asian trading partners. The United States is a major market for Philippine exports such as electronics, agricultural products, and services. The Philippines benefits from trade preferences such as the Generalized System of Preferences, GSP, which gives certain Philippine goods preferential treatment. Bilateral ties have included areas of politics, economics, and defense. Diplomatically, the Philippines has a solid and long-standing relationship with the United States. Both countries collaborate on various problems such as counterterrorism, disaster relief, and development assistance. The United States also contributes to regional stability and security by frequently partnering with the Philippines in regional forums such as ASEAN. The Philippines' relations with China have been volatile over the years. While both countries have economic ties and an interest in regional peace, they have also been involved in South China Sea disputes. While maintaining trading links with China, the Philippines has taken a diplomatic approach to resolving these conflicts. In recent years, Chinese imports and investments have increased, and bilateral trade agreements and economic partnerships have been formed between the two countries. The Philippines has experienced fluctuations in its diplomatic relations with China, primarily due to territorial disputes in the South China Sea. The arbitral tribunal ruling in 2016, which rejected China's extensive territorial claims in the South China Sea, brought the issue to the forefront of Philippines' diplomatic relations with China. Unlike its military ties with the United States, the Philippines lacks a formal military alliance with China. However, attempts have been made to promote defense cooperation and exchanges between the two countries. Under President Rodrigo Duterte, the Philippines has endeavored to establish a balance between its relations with the United States and China. Multiple countries, including China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Brunei, have territorial disputes in the South China Sea. These disagreements are primarily related to the ownership of islands, maritime boundaries, and natural resources. The South China Sea is an important commercial route, and its potential oil and gas reserves make it economically valuable. China, in particular, has asserted territorial claims to a large chunk of the South China Sea based on its 9-line map, which has been hotly contested by other claimants and found invalid by The Hague's Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016. One of the most prominent disputes has included the Philippines, notably the Scarborough Shoal and the Spratly Islands. The United States and China both play important roles in the South China Sea conflict, each pursuing its objectives. The United States has been active in the war in the South China Sea by assisting the Philippines and other claimants in their territorial and maritime disputes. To address these concerns, the United States conducts freedom of navigation operations, FONOPs, to challenge China's excessive maritime claims, offers military aid, and advocates for a rules-based international order. The United States has stated its support for its regional allies and partners, particularly the Philippines, and has provided military and diplomatic assistance to protect international law. Its participation is considered a counterbalance to China's forceful behavior in the region. China has been proactive in its South China Sea territorial claims, including constructing military infrastructure on artificial islands. China has preferred bilateral talks with claimant countries and has rejected multilateral arbitration proceedings. Its increasing military presence and economic influence have alarmed neighboring countries. The Philippines has taken a diversified approach to handling the South China Sea dispute. Under President Rodrigo Duterte, the Philippines has maintained a balance in its relations with the United States and China. The Duterte administration took a more conciliatory approach towards China, emphasizing collaboration and economic development while temporarily suspending the arbitration verdict. On the other hand, the Philippines has not abandoned its claims or rights in the South China Sea. In 2016, the Arbitral Tribunal upheld the Philippines' exclusive economic zone (EEZ) rights and invalidated much of China's 9-dash line. The Philippines has maintained diplomatic contacts with China and other claimants to find a peaceful and legal resolution to the disputes. The confrontation in the South China Sea presents difficulties for the Philippines in maintaining a delicate balance between its strong relationship with the United States and its need to cooperate with China for economic reasons. The country is caught between asserting sovereignty and avoiding potential financial and security problems. Foreign policy in the Philippines will continue to manage this complex subject, seeking peaceful resolutions and regional stability. It will also be determined by the evolution of US-China relations and their impact on the area. The Philippines faces several implications for its foreign policy in the future, particularly in the context of the South China Sea conflict. Balancing act. The Philippines must carefully navigate its relationships with the US and China. It must strike a balance between its security interests and economic considerations. International law and arbitration. The Philippines may continue to uphold the 2016 arbitral ruling and seek a rules-based resolution to the South China Sea dispute, which aligns with its commitment to international law. Economic cooperation. The Philippines is likely to continue fostering economic cooperation with China while enhancing its trade and diplomatic ties with other countries in the region. Regional cooperation. The Philippines will continue to work with regional organizations such as ASEAN to develop a unified response to the South China Sea issue, focusing on regional stability and security. Finally, the Philippines' foreign relations are inextricably linked to the complex US-China dynamic, notably in the South China Sea context. This region is strategically essential, abundant in natural resources, and a focal point for great power competition. As a crucial actor in this geopolitical scene, the Philippines has struck a difficult balance between its historical relationship with the United States and its economic connections with China. The Philippines has sought to assert its territorial claims in the South China Sea while still participating in bilateral negotiations with China to avoid a confrontation. The task has proved to be difficult since the US has strengthened its presence in the region to protect its friends and maintain freedom of navigation. As the US-China rivalry deepens, the Philippines faces new obstacles in defending its sovereignty and economic interests. It must maintain its territorial claims while simultaneously exploring diplomatic solutions and regional collaboration to reduce tensions in the South China Sea. In the face of the US-China dynamic and the South China Sea dispute, the Philippines' capacity to adapt to shifting alliances and maintain a moral yet pragmatic foreign policy will be critical in safeguarding its stability and development.